Hello, everybody. Uh, Josh reporting in. Yes. Hi, Josh. Ray of Light is here too. Hello, everybody. I don't have a blue shirt, and I will kind of here you go, so you guys can understand. All right. Margaret. Hi, Margaret. CJ, present. Thank you for being here. I spoke with Brenton 19 last night and kind of walk her through her chart, but she looked at something for me, and she was right on point. I still have a little bit of throat chakra, so be patient with me. Let me get the camera a little bit down, so that way you guys can see much better. There you go. Kind of have the eye line here. All right. Okay, you all know what that is. What we're going to talk about it that you guys suggested from yesterday to look at it. The blame. What about the blame? And if you look at it, the blame, okay, there is a kind of like a sort of excuse. And there is an excuse that you haven't looked at it deeply from within the issue. Okay. So, for example, throughout my professional career as a technician, I see the blame to a lot of things. Okay. So, for example, the person who works on the machines, he's not fully trained. They broke the machine, and now is the blame of the guy who works on the machine, but the guy is not trained. So here is the wrong blame goes to the person who worked with the machine, but the real blame is to the person who did not send him to a class to educate him. Okay, so that's what basically the blame can comes in. You can blame people, you can blame your twin flame, you can blame God, you can blame destiny. I mean, with the blame, it's got a lot of face masks. Okay, that could be a shame, guilt, finger pointing, and so on. I don't want to go to this kind of like a low vibes. So we want to keep understanding the blame, but keep the vibes high. Okay, guys. So I pulled the words out, and also you guys know that I'm not looking just to one side. Excuse me. I'm looking both. I need a little bit of warm coffee. Mm. Oh, that's better. That it's better. So I do my homework. You guys know. Oh well. Hi, Lisa. Thank you for being here, and thank you all. So what is blame? Blame is to be point a reason or be responsible for a fault or lie. Oops. So here is you're responsible for something happened, and now you blame something else, and that is a lie. But that is a good for you though. And if you look at your vibrations within the blame, you have that guilty conscience from within. By the way, there was a one quote I kind of attached to. Let me see where is that quote that I posted. It was on a Facebook. I'll bring it to you. I'll bring it to you guys. Just give me some little. Okay. So there is no pillow so soft as a clear conscience. But if you blame wrongfully someone, do you have a clear conscience? And that is a big effect because at night when you put your head down on the pillow, your conscience bugs you. You begin to worry about things. You begin to look at it. The same things come over and over and over like a nightmare and so on. And that reasons for it. Nice shirt, Dio. Thanks, Shadow. Okay, there you go. Brent, hi. I was just talking about you. Maria, it's here. Good morning. Good morning to all. So I was looking at the word actually blame, where it come from. Actually, the word blame it's combined from two energies. Be that you are something, okay, doing something, determined something, and lame. All right. So what is lame? Lame is inspiring, could do, incap- incapacitated, something that is deformed, excuse of argument, weak and not reserved to be believed. Now, when you put the B and a line together, you get the blame. All right. Uh, to take a blame is to commit you did something wrong. You take the blame, you take the responsibility. But the person who does blame towards others, he is not accountable. He's irresponsible because of something. And I see that through the life that even through most of the twin flames, oh well, she didn't did her job, he didn't did his job, he's not awakened, she's not awakened. He gotta put his stuff together. You all know what I'm talking about, stuff. Okay, and here he goes. You playing the blame game. When you're gonna stop to playing the blame game is when you look at it deeply from within the issues, and that's what we are here for, to look at it deep within the issues. Uh, in the word incapacitated, basically you don't have the capacity to understand that the blaming is not real the problem. The blaming it's only the effect of something happened. Okay, you haven't looked at it, you haven't not troubleshooting real problem, you haven't do the things. I see through my professional career that again I'm saying staying that that a lot of the people they are kind of like making excuses on the front of leaders or bosses or owners to a company, which is I worked with owners of the company. And I go and I tell him, listen, the machine is broke because of this and this. And he's like, well, they told me that this and this was, and that's the person. I'm like, no, it's a wrong thing. And the owner just look at me. He's like, hey, he sits there for like a minute to reflect on the truth. Okay. So before you blame, seek the truth. All right. If you don't have the truth, you don't have the details, if you don't have the situations, don't put the blame. A fresh thing about we all learn that because that's the energy of the world is the situations with Johnny Depp. All right. You guys probably hear it in the news. I try not to go too much to all that energy there because he's yucky to the bones. Okay. It's yucky to the bones. But the truth come out. And when the truth comes out, then you understand that the blame is something that you were not aware of, that you had two different things. You had unhidden truth and you had a egoistic part to kind of like if you blame someone and you kind of like wash your hands so you clear, you understand that you're hurting yourself without blame. Within the relationships, though, within the twin flames, when I'm pushing the buttons, right, and things or issues or situations coming up, and they kind of like rise above the thing, you're asking for that truth, but you don't receive the truth. Now you begin to blame. Okay, but guess what? You blame the person, you blame your twin flame or your soul connection for they not telling you the truth. Okay, you blame them. They haven't told me the truth. I don't know how to act and react. they ghosted me, they just do this, they do that, and no communications. And also, I don't know what to do, but you're blaming them. All right. You're blaming them because you don't see that in order they did all that, there was something else underneath the surface, lack of being honest. So now, when you know that they're lacking honesty and truth, guess what? You're understanding, you don't blame them anymore. You know they have a problem with the truth. You just, okay, well, God knows the truth. Sooner or later, it will be revealed to me. All right. But you have to look from within yourself, for example, to take the blame and be your truthful. Okay. Be truthful to your own self first and truthful to out there. So, for example, sometimes, I broke a machine because of I troubleshooting the machine, and guess what? I don't know if this part was broken. I'm testing the machine. During the test, I broke the thing, and I'm just going there and like, listen, I made a damage into the machine, but I see a people who damaging the machine, and it comes in as like, well, I just find out this is happening, and we don't know what to do. I know this simply because they're afraid of keeping their job. But they don't understand by telling the truth that that was an accident, that things happen because of this. You explain what happened. There is no blame. So the truth is the leading path of going into the path of the love, all right? Through the truth, okay, you getting that love that it's from within you, not within the blame, because the blame kind of like it's his fault, it's not mine, and it's not things, and that's going on. Honesty with self. Yes, exactly. It's the honesty with your own self. Okay. But in order you to figure things out, okay, you need to understand. Yesterday we talked about the correction. Okay. You have to look at it and correct your own self. All right. Within your core, in your core beliefs. All right. And within this core beliefs, then you change the core, the base, then it will reflect to everything else that it's out there. All right. So let me see where it was. I have it somewhere. I wrote it yesterday. There it is. All right. Talking about the core again from yesterday, kind of like correction is action of process of correcting something. Core, part of something that is essential. And looking from with this, from within you, why would you blame? And why would other people blame you? So if someone blames you, they don't want to take accountability, responsibility, or they don't have this capacity. They are incapable of being accountable and responsible because that's what they're lacking in there. Because for them, it's too much to be accountable. They feel like they cannot be held accountable. Okay, in some of the cases and the situations, okay, a lot of the bosses is like, why keep me accountable for it? All right, I'm the manager here in this area, and yeah, I'm responsible, but why you gotta keep me accountable? I mean, the guy broke the machine. Okay, well, you're the boss. Whatever happens in there, it's your responsibility. We are holding you accountable. That's what you're hired for. Okay, it's the same thing within universe. Universe says like, okay, we hired to do this job. Be unaccountable to yourself. Be unaccountable to your own soul. Be unaccountable for this group. You are who you are, and things like this. A lot of you feel that in you, and I know some of you here understand all this situations. But the blame game, okay, it's part of the ego. The blame, it's a lame excuse and a lame personality, okay, haven't been grown up. They have to grow up. Shadow, okay, next time. Uh, what do you mean, Shadow? Didn't get it. Four. But next time, I don't know. Maybe you guys chatting something that I don't get it, but anyway. Um, the part of no blame. The part of no blame is accepting the truth and go with the understanding. Okay, so for example, somebody comes in, it's like there is a situation. It's like a lot of the twin flames or a lot of the marriage couples, they go into a counselor. And guess what? They begin to blame each other for the issues that they have. Okay, that's a mutual blame. Okay, but what the counselor does is take no blame for it. He just sits and watching them how two kids arguing because they haven't been grown up. They haven't grown up to understand that they have issues and they are like, here is your dolls, give me my cars. Okay, if it's a boy and a girl, the boy give the car and the girl give the dolls so they can exchange toys to play with, right? And excuse me. And that's how you're going to learn the most of the situations for it. But if you see the truth from it from within, and you begin to dive deep from within, you probably find out that the one was manipulating the other. They were mutually manipulating each other because they were learned that game of to get something you have to manipulate instead of being honest. Okay, like a lot of the kids, they learn that game of manipulations at a young age just so they can get attention, time, or so on, and something like this. Sorry, Dio, I was talking out loud. As long as you don't crying out loud, Shadow, that's good. Um, and if you're watching the kids, the kids when they play soccer or football and they broke the window, guess what? They're all running away, and there's one boy who had nothing to do with this game, right? Or no situations at all. Now the person, the owner, just sees like, I was the boy right there. He's the one standing. Was that the boy? No, the one who broke the window is the first one to run. All right, and it's the same thing. The one who causing the problem is the first one to blame. Pay the attention to these red flags for it, and yeah, I mean, if you look at it, all the situations that we have is lack of basic uh, human behaviors. Okay, I mean, if you do something, learn to apologize. If you create problems, learn to that problems doesn't help. If need some corrections, take a corrective action. Okay, so don't be like no corrections at all, because when there is no correction at all, then later on what happens in life is you cannot correct an adult. It's more harder to correct an adult than correct a kid. Okay, because a person who's never been corrected, guess what? When they begin to be an adult and they go into work and someone says like, well, listen, you know what, we gotta let you go because yeah, you broke the machine, and yeah, and I mean, it cost us a $5,000, and we want to make sure this is not going to happen again. And, guess what? We are going to let you go. And this person was never corrected. He gets aggravated. It creates a lot of troubles. All right. It was a few cases of those that ex-employees goes in there and the company creates a lot of miseries. Like one of the company was like, it was the guy who went in around the machine and broke all the screens on the machines. Okay, with the hammer. One screen it's $10,000. So anyway, but Here it is that the person who did that, okay, he didn't understood the proper way of corrective actions. Okay, sit down with the employees, like, you know what, you broke the machine. Okay, we understand the things that happened. Here's the report of the service. Okay, we are not going to blame you for this because we understand that we haven't trained you properly, and we are going to take a corrective action. We are going to train you, and we are going to send you for a 3 days and class for these machines so you can learn. And hopefully this doesn't happen from now on. We like you to be, you're a good employer. We like you to go ahead and do the right things. And we see your history of doing the right things. And we understand that it's our pitfall that we have not trained you properly. If you look at this within your life, okay, that's what you're here for, because of somehow, some way, you want to fix certain things from within you, certain things that you're looking at down the road, and you want to fix it. Okay, but when you begin to be an awakened personality, or awakened person, an awakened twin flame, you understand that you can't hide things. For example, you cannot tell lies to your twin flame, or you try not to things. Okay, you try to understand the person first. You kind of like forgive, 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 forgive until you can't forgive anymore. And the moment you stop forgiving, okay, now you put the blames on it. But it's not about the blame, it is about to growth. That person hasn't been grown for it, and you blame them. Well, they don't know. They haven't been taught. They haven't been uh, learned. They have not grown in that position. And now, later on, you're troubleshooting yourself, and you find out that the blame, okay, it is lack of understanding, because your twin flame didn't tell you the truth from within. They lack accountability, or they are an irresponsible person, or whatever the situation is. And for example, if they have to take care of you, but they cannot take care of them, guess what? Here's the issue, right? So, why it's hard for us something to see past their own mistakes could be a shame. The blame actually evolves to a shame. Uh, when you blame once and you made the same mistake, when you blame twice as the same thing, then all of a sudden you develop that blame from within you, and that blame evolves as a shame. Okay. The shame is something, it's like, yeah, you lied before, you lied now, but now you continue the lie, and you're ashamed of you. Shame on you. I mean, why are you lying? You're hurting yourself. Usually, people who does this, okay, they're attracted to shame, and when somebody tells them about the shame, then they blow it off. Simply because they are their issue, and they are shameful of what they did or what happened. Okay, but if the shame is repeated more, more, and more, then it turns to a guilt. And the guilt is within the soul. Things are getting a little higher in there. You're really asking for dark night of the soul in there. Yep, that's what we are here. You need to understand. Now we are here on this new period that we are diving deep. We just stopped looking for whatever is on the surface. The people who have the old crap, the old stuff, the old relationship, the old things, the people who are not with you, they're not with you because they don't want to go deep in that new cycle. You have to understand every cycle goes deep. Okay, deep within the issue, but with a higher understanding. That's why the life is spiral. It is not a circle. It is a spiral. It's the same pretty much situations, but it's a spiral like the DNA. The DNA is not a circle. And every time you're fixing things, then you change your DNA. We already know that as a twin flames because you electrify your whole body and during the awakening process, and all of a sudden that electrifying of the body, it's the moment the DNA, okay, makes a links happening and evolves. All right. Uh, and you're welcome, guys. That's why we're here. Okay. I love the group. I love your support. I love being here and asking some questions. What I sensed though today, kind of like my conscious was like, well, Dio, you're doing it on time, but you kind of like abandoning your American uh, public. So I may begin to do one now at 4 p.m. and that is for kind of like for Europe, India, Australia, Asia, and so on. And 10 I'll maybe doing late at night when it's late afternoon, one for the United States. So that way we can have two chats, and some of you doesn't have to get up early in the morning to be in the chat here. So I will try to see, make some few of those and see what will happen. Probably begin to soon with this. And that way, kind of like helping you guys. Okay. So I don't blame myself and feel guilty about it. All right. So now we can get some like a couple of questions for it. I hope this kind of like help you to understand the blame for. I hope kind of like you guys getting into this situations. But in the twin flames, the blame can be caused from a third party. There could be a blame that you don't know things. So, for example, if you have a manipulation that comes in from ex-husband who manipulates, for example, kids, and then the kids causing a problem with your twin flame in you. All right, that situations in there. There is some situations of unhealed wounds with some of you. There is situations that could be you are that of a type of person who always looking for something to fight for in life. Well, you don't have to fight at some point. You need to understand that looking for fights, it doesn't really solve anything. Looking for understanding, it's much more grateful because when you understand things, you will know how to fight properly or how you to do the things in life properly. It's the same thing with the twin flames, the relationships. There was a video today of Andre that he's like, why I don't understand something. That's what he said. It was about like why we always looking for something new. Why that we as a twin flames, the one person likes to do this here and another person likes to do that there. I had a little chit chat with this about, oh, excuse me. Hey, Mora, glad to see you here. Probably very early for you. Thanks for being here. Ladies and gentlemen, if you don't know Mora, Mora wrote a few books about twin flames, okay? If wanted it, I know her for quite a few years. She's been in my workshops and she knows me personally. And Mora, thank you for being here. So what I was talking about, I just lost my thing with the cough and in a relationship in twin flames. I was talking about something. I think you happen to be on, and it's 9:30 a.m. Okay. That's nice, Mora. It's 9:30 a.m. Is that a central time, 9:30? Looking for a fight or looking for understanding. Love this. It's a good month to check in with ourselves before taking actions. Exactly. Because a lot of the twin flames, they taking actions before they have this information from within. And that is at the moment when you realize your mistakes as a twin flame. So, for example, your twin flame creates something, and later on they understand it wasn't the person, it was them. Now, would you blame yourself? You can blame yourself, but that's going to help you something? No. You dive deep and you understand why you're blaming yourself. What's the root cause? And then you take a corrective action. But what's going to be the corrective action? There's a twin flame from within. You change your actions. All right, that's what you do. You change, you evolve, and that's a lot of the twin flames. You're here to look and to evolve. But as we stated here, you have to look and evolve. All right. So here's what I was going to talk about is here, or Eastern time. What if someone does something to you and ask you why, and they try to shift the blame, saying you are blaming me, etc. Listen, that's okay. Great question, by the way. Um, what if someone does something to you and you ask why, and they try to shift the blame, saying, "Why are you blaming me?" For example, most of the time, that I will say for one thing, it's called breadcrumbing. Okay, if you don't understand the process of breadcrumbing, there is a event when the one person doesn't give you the love as you give it back. And now the one person goes and asks you, like, why you don't give me love? Why you don't say how you feel about me? Why you keep me on distance? Why don't post things with me? Why this? Why that? And now they turn around you and they don't give you kind of like explanation. They don't want you to know that they have limitations within themselves. And now they blame you because you want too much. No, you don't want too much. You want to be fair. You want to be equal, give and take. Oh. Oh. So now what they do is instead of they looking at their own issues with why they breadcrumbing you, guess what? They turn and they point the blame on you instead of looking at different in the issues that all their life they were breadcrumbing people because for some way or on another they don't know what love is or how to love or they don't receive love or they don't want to give love or if they open they will feel vulnerable. The love kind of like is going to kill them. Fear of love, it's connected to this. So deflection, shifting blame onto the other person. Yeah, that deflection is part of the mirroring process. Hi, Diana. Thanks for being here. By the way, um, and uh, the things with this processing, okay, is again you to make a corrective actions to create the troubleshooting. And during those troubleshooting, you see the things that rise on the surface. And that's what a lot of the twin flames, they're not together. They're not together because they keep things deep. But twin flames, they go deeper. All right. And now the new portions that comes in, this new push up an age of Aquarius is like, let me tell you something. Instead of doing all this crap and wasting the energy of hiding my masks and hide your feelings and so on. It takes the same energy to be vulnerable, open, and to live happily ever after. Each one you choose, because it takes the same energy to worry, blame, and shame, and it takes the same energy to love, accept, and no blame in here. And that is connected with um, instead of I surrender to the universe, is we surrender to the universe. Okay, we trust the universe. We let ourselves go to the universe. That's when the union begin with all this stuff. But people will blame. It's like you pointing the fingers, okay, and shooting with energies, or begin to have this coldness. Like, I want to have nothing to do with you. You hurt me so much. Some people do that. There is a lot of fights I've been seeing or experienced into it. Uh, if you don't like who or what someone else is, I move away from them. No need to waste of time. Brinta, here's what a lot of people do, what you just wrote and what I just said. And they get in the same experience with the same person because they had not dived deep from within to understand that the blame, it is just an excuse instead of diving deep and resolving the issue. And that's why unresolved issue keep repeating and repeating and repeating and repeating. Because finding yourself an excuse or blame that you don't want to do something because you, for whatever reasons, all right, or you blame other people for your situations, guess what? The situation will comes in and you're gonna be again blame the person. You're not diving deep from within, not diving deep to have no blame. Because at the moment you caught itself, you blame the person because they are, find the reason why they are like this. Look at it, what the reason is for it. Resolve the situation from within you. So the next time you have the same situation, guess what? You're not going to blame anybody. And you're going to have a clear conscience. You're going to sleep better in the pillow. So I think you didn't read my earlier comment. Yeah, in my experience, once I decide to take a complete self-responsibility, the issue for blame uh, uh, completely irrelevant. There you go. Yeah, I say that when you take accountability and responsibility for your actions, then the things are different. Okay, but if you have the wrong actions towards someone, and that someone is just sneaky or manipulating or things like this, once you caught up to their manipulations, now you can really look the other side of the things for it, of the blame. You begin to look at it, it's like, so he was the person who did the things behind the veil, behind the shadow. Okay. And now you look at it and you understand things. You pointed out the problem. You did the cause. And now again, you come to the same place of corrective actions for it. That is exactly what I said. To take complete self-responsibility does not really focus of blaming. All right, guys. So I will take some a few more questions. Love your words of wisdom. Always do. Very helpful. Not to point blade. I'm reading setting boundaries will set you free. Dio, it's funny. We all sometimes shift blame to someone else when we look in the mirror. We blame that too. Yeah. Blaming the mirror. Blaming the mirror and within the twin flames. You need to understand when you blame your twin flame for something. Okay. You need to understand that the actions speaking louder than words. And sometimes the actions will determine it, whereas your twin flame loyalty is. Blame them that they're not loyal to, that is a different story. But when it comes to you facing yourself in the mirror and you look back for it, was the blame and pointing the truth was kind of like related to it, and you blame yourself that you said the truth that you should have not said? Because the other side of the blame is when you don't tell the truth. You're blaming yourself that you lie. And then you begin to have a guilty conscience because now you didn't say the truth. You didn't say the truth to your twin flame, or you didn't say the truth from within. And when you look at yourself in the mirror, what are you doing? Yeah, little silence moments in there, right? But that's why we're here. We evolve, and as long as we evolve, as Jesus said, I'm the road, the truth. You need to understand the truth is something incredible power, especially when the truth begins to evolve. You begin to be a truth from what you hear in the 3D, the truth within the magical world, the miracle world, spiritual world, okay, and then the truth with the divine. All that truth, when it becomes 100% truth, then the things become really magical. Now, you're talking about high level of energy that it's clear. It feels good. It feels energy of completely freedom. You're not preoccupied of anything. You are preoccupied with love too. You feel the love from it. And it's like, what is this? The truth sets you free. You ever heard that, right? And that's what this is. This is making so much sense. Shadow, yes, that's kinder how it is. Oh God. I'm taking antibiotics about this and getting a little better, but who knows how many days I'm going to be like this. So, guys, if you have some few more questions, let me know. And oh yeah, here is I was got distracted up here. So Petya and Andre, they made Andre actually made the video about like what is there is a difference from within. And I actually spoke with Brenta previously before I even see the video about it, or I saw it. It was something like that. I don't remember each one it was, but either the one or the other, they were kind of like correlated. It's kind of universe asking you to verify information. Brenta, if you're here and can help me out, what was the truth on this? But we're talking about astrology. So during the time of the day, the ascendant or the rising, the current rising, okay, turns around the earth for 24 hours and advance with the 1 degree. Okay, so the ascendant shifts, so you can feel different throughout the hours of when the rising points the energy, the current rising. So the current rising, if you match with yours, you get a lot of alignment in there. All right. So you're flowing within your own chart. But if you have a rising that it's different, then all of a sudden you feel so energized when it's at 10 p.m. You become then an hour person. Or if you're the rising, it's kind of like another side of the world and it's dark in there. And guess what? You feel like you're waking up at 7 o'clock in the morning and you're like, man, what's going on today? I want to sleep, right? Even though you slept 10 hours. So he said why that one twin flame tries this and the other one is. You need to understand that yours a magnetic pole within the twin flames. I will make a video about this, by the way. But your rising of the one person and the rising of the other, usually there's difference in there. Okay, so the current rising will affect both of them differently. But as the twin flames, if you look at this point, is the one twin flame can tap into the rising of the other through the soul, and they both do the things. And then the other person can tap into the rising of the twin flame and have an energy exchange. And that's what the twin flames, when they get together in union, they, throughout this energies exchange, they do this. Otherwise, guess what? There is a blame of the twin flame. Well, I can't go doing this because that's what happens. Okay, I can't be getting it up at 10 o'clock and I can't do this, I can't do that. No, you can't. You guys are twin flames. If you're twin flames, so guess what? You helping each other. All right. You helping each other within the energies, within the magnetic field. That's where you are together. You're not together only just for a certain things. So I will make the video on this and talk about an astrology a little bit later on, because I promised to Andre to answer some in the video about this. All right, guys, but that's going to be video, no chat, no, none of that stuff. It's like regular video. I haven't done a regular video in a while, so kind of like scratch my hands on it and do it. All right, guys. So if you had some any more questions, let me know. If not, we are going to close this session. I like to say thank you, and let's look at it and talk about something tomorrow. What do you guys want we to discuss up here? No, the picture is actually taken at, no, it's not me and my twin, for. At some point, certain people didn't even want to have a picture together with me. I don't know, maybe I'm ugly or something. I asked them about it, but guess what? They didn't want it. Anyway, but no, that and the banner, it's from the YouTube. So in order to have it there, it has to be a specific uh, graphic ratio, and I had a hard time finding it. I had another one that was in Chicago at night, but it was too dark, and I'm like, no, I need to change this, and I changed it to this banner. So no, it's not TF, no, 4. So yeah, no, that's. I was kind of like forbidden with my last connections to even post the pictures on Facebook, which is, yeah. Anyway, but no, it's not. So let's discuss. What do you guys want to talk about tomorrow? Oh, you're welcome. Oh, by the way, next couple of days, be remind yourself Mercury is going to switch direct and Saturn's going to begin to shift retrograde, and Uranus is not going to have aspects. Try not to do anything crazy, anything like nuts or out of the ordinary in the negative way. All right, just try to do things from within. All right, universe now it's going to ask you, don't look for the stars like this in the physical world. Look the stars from within. Okay, the stars from within, and you. All right. Oh, hey Sam. Thank you for being here. Appreciate Sam. Glad to see you here. And that's what this is. Okay, Saturn, by the way, is gonna move together with the North Node and the South Node. But now, since it's gonna be a retrograde, he's gonna be talking to your soul, and some of you is gonna have guilty, shame, blameful, subconscious, conscious lessons that what I did, what I didn't did, and that energy is gonna begin to, yeah. Um, it's gonna be for a while. It's like it's gonna evolve. Also, Jupiter, who's gonna turn retrograde. It's gonna be a lot of internal conflicts. More important though, but Venus and Uranus is gonna come together. They're gonna have no aspects to anybody. Uh, no aspects with other planets. That's mean that when the planet doesn't make aspects, doesn't point you at what you need to work. You need to work from within. So love in universe is gonna come together and look from within. Some of you maybe feel like, oh, nobody loves me, the universe doesn't love me, and expecting a lot of people who have a low psychic evaluations. Maybe they can do things that not good. But there is always, hotlines that can help you. If you guys manage it to posting on some of your Facebook hotlines of the countries where you are, that people don't feel loved. If you sense like the people lack of love and lack of self-worth or something, and they begin like, nobody loves me, nobody wants me, nobody, I might, do something bad and be there. Okay, because that energy is going to come up sooner or later. So let's talk about something tomorrow. What do you guys have? Yeah, you gotta face the truth. I mean, that's what we're talking about, Diana. That you gotta face the truth. I mean, how can you be? How can you be a divine being when you drag in with yourself the garbage from your programming society that you're trying to bring into a spiritual society? You haven't told the truth within the real world, and guess what? You're bringing the truth within the spiritual world, and that's what this is. That's what these issues they surface. They can't be hid one way or another. They just comes up, and then you have to go back and fix your basic human behaviors. Okay, that's what this is. I mean, if you guys want to talk about tomorrow about what the basic human behaviors is, we'll brow that in. I mean, I don't know, whatever you guys decide. I'm here for you. All right, I'm here for you. Maria, stay neutral, stay grounded. Yes, stay grounded. Sounds like a bad time to gamble the next days and stays inside. Zingers 4. So yeah. So I think that tomorrow we're gonna go over to the basic human behaviors. How about that? You guys like that idea? All right, guys. So we're going to be diving into the basic human behaviors. Might be more than just one time because maybe you're not gonna feed them all. Okay. Maybe I don't know. It's gonna be a big thing. And maybe it's gonna be more than just an hour. We might take it longer, within 2 hours or so. and we'll see how it's going to turn out. I don't know if we can make a one-time feminine, uh, one-time masculine, or just the basic human behaviors. I will look into it, and you guys know tomorrow we are going to have a chat at the same time. I'm gonna leave it like this at 4 p.m. and that's what's going to be. All right, guys. Thank you for being here. Thank you for watching the channel, and I share some love. All right, guys. Okay. Be love. Bye.